Alright guys, today we're going to show you the possible ways that I have found to be able to counter the meta. Let's get right into it. Alright guys, Ignite here, and like I said in the intro, we're going to be showing the ways I have found to be able to counter the two metas that are currently around, which is the DB Weaver and Wise Zerker or Lathy. You see Wise Zerker a lot more than Lathy. The other one is the PA or Ada Sextons with Hairy Panther and Leaf Devourer. I'll show you why these are so overbearingly strong, as well as the ways that I have found how to counter and to why. But before we get into that, gotta get into the usual shenanigans. This video is sponsored by Aptoid. We're using my code AGNATE2, new code, make sure you put it in. You can get anywhere from 5 to 40% off all in-game purchases, especially during the holidays when you're doing your Christmas spending. It makes it so that you're able to still be able to go out and buy those gifts for your family members, but also feed your personal addiction. So again, that is AGNATE2, and using my link to be able to get anywhere from 5 to 40% off all purchases in-game. All right, so we'll get into it. So first off, why is DB Weaver and Wise Zerker / Lathy Sniffer so dang strong? So we'll go into that first. Start with the dolly. Now the reason being with it is it increases the normal damage right here, right? And then again right here, it can enter splash status, and the normal attacks will deal 100% damage to 2 other enemy squads. So the normal attack is already being increased plus the splash damage from that. Then you have the counterattack status, which is when you receive a normal attack, has a 100% chance to counterattack, dealing 180 damage to the attacker, which then will stack again with the normal damage you have from those two skills. Now getting into the Weaver, you have this, which is 70% to trigger, which removes all negative effects and increases defense and health, which is always good. Well, health anyway. Defense doesn't matter nearly as much for shooters. And then you have in this, in 3 rounds, 2 of our units gain a combat speed plus 60 and have a 100% chance to hit double hit status, gaining normal attack damage times 1, and double hit cannot stack. So if you remember back on the dolly, it's already stacking a lot of normal damage, and this just allows it to be able to once again hit a double hit and be able to hit harder. It also, plus the combat speed, it's kind of like a nibble tree ant on crack. And then you get into the next one. When 2 random enemy squads take damage, the next damage they take will be increased by 15%, can be stacked up to 60%. So all of that normal damage and everything that you're stacking from the dolly already, combined with this, is then increasing it up to almost 60% above what it would have been naturally. So that is just a big old stack up right there. And then you get into the Wise Zerker, and really the only one that is most noticeable is this one, which increases the normal attack and skill damage, which also has with this, after a normal attack, has 60% chance to do 300 damage to 2 random enemy squads. Again, there's that splash damage, except for it's not really splash damage because it's a direct attack. And yeah, that's pretty much it on that. So that's why that combo is so deadly. So we'll get into the other combo before I explain how to counter it. So the best one, honestly, is the Ada Sextant variant over the PA, in my opinion. And that being mostly for this skill right here, which has a 60% chance to gain a shield that makes its squad immune to next damage taken. Again, it also has the splash status when facing shooters, which is usually what Guardians are facing right now with the meta, which is the DB Weaver Wise Zerker. So yeah, there's that one. Now, what you see other people running is the PA, which this is the big one. In the first 3 rounds, the squad in a strong guard status, unable to launch normal attacks, but significantly reduces the damage taken by 50%. So that's for the first 3 rounds versus the ATA. And then you have, if they're under control, increases the damage taken by them. And then also has a chance to be able to control. Now, when that stacks up, when you start going with Hairy Panther, had to find it there. So this has another suppress, so then the PA could stack up with the damage that it does. And then that's just damage. And Hairy Panther hits pretty damn hard, to be honest. And then, okay, if the target's under control, increases the damage by 350%. PA and this ant have a control, so that increases the overall damage there. And then you have Leaf Devour, which doesn't necessarily have a skill that, I mean, it does have this, increases the additional skill damage dealt by 10%, and can be stacked up to 80%, as well as this, that it prepares and then it hits 80% chance to attack the enemy 3 times. And yeah, another kind of direct splash damage. So those are the 2 and why they're strong. It's because of what they're doing is they're playing off each other and really being able to stack up the damage, especially with the DB Weaver Wise Berserker Lathy combo. So that really starts to wear down on you very, very quickly, usually within the first 3 rounds of any fight. So what's the counter? So the counter that I have found personally, and that I prefer the most, but I'll give you a couple different variations that you could do. The counter that I have found to both of them is to run ATA and then 2 DPS. Mine being Wise Berserker and Lathy. You can also use the PA. You can use Reapmaster instead of Wise Berserker if you want. But usually the only way to be able to beat a meta is to be the meta. But in this particular case, that's not the case. And that being because of that shield in your front line being the first one hit, because of that shield and the damage reduction if you were to use PA instead, it allows you to take the brunt of the first initial hits to be able to have your 2 DPS in there. Now this also does mean that you have to run Guardian Shooter. So you got to play with the insects right. Obviously right now, the best being the CC and the Rainbow combo is pretty devastating. But yeah, it's essentially the only way to really counter the meta currently is to be able to take the first couple rounds of hits to be able to wear them down enough to be able to wipe them out. And honestly, I expect them to nerf Weaver at some point in time. I also expect them to nerf Hairy Panther at some point in time, because both of those ants are really what's making these combos so strong and why they are the meta. But I don't really like playing the meta. I mean, you can see I have a lineup of it, but I always like to try to find ways to be able to break it. Another ant that you could put into the front row is also the Parada. The Parada, which I'll show you. The Parada has 70% chance to dodge the next incoming damage. And then, well, yeah, it has that boost, which is reducing the additional skill damage of their next skill by 30%. I believe that. Yeah, and then if the target is a shoe squad, the damage rate will be doubled. So that helps with going against the DB Wise Berserker Lathy / the Dolly Weaver Wise Berserker / Lathy combo. But anyway, those are really the only way that I've found to be able to really beat the meta at the moment. It's a combination that's worked out very well so far, and until they nerf the Weaver and the Dolly, I'm sorry, the Weaver and the Hairy Panther, I really don't see there being any other way. But if you guys have found any counters or ways to be able to beat the meta without being the meta, please leave it down in the comments down below, or come into our Discord and discuss it. All those links will be down below. And I hope this helped, and we'll see you in the next one. Igni is out.